Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our trading room, the ProWave trading room. Glad to see all of you guys again. Not everybody is in. Yesterday we had 50-something people. This morning we had 50-something. I hope we can get, you guys can bring a friend. It seems like some of you left your friend home, so we have less now in the room, or they will join us later. Spread the news, because I can tell you why you should spread the news, because there are a lot of traders who would like to see this, but they don't even know we're doing it. So if you can get the message to them, let them come, let them take a look at it. There is no obligation to come and look. You're not going to, you don't have to do anything. If you like it, you can, and you want to learn it, you can join us. But this is not about that, right? You can just come and enjoy. I'm not making any special promotion. If you buy, you get 50% reduction and all that. We don't do that. If you like what we do and you want to learn it, and you would like to join the trading room to get access to what we do every day, 2 times a day, probably live, you're welcome to do that. Some traders already send me messages. If I haven't answered you as well as yet, don't worry, I'll get the answer to you. Some people are asking me how to pay. Don't worry, I'll get it to you, right? It's a little busy time right now, so by the end of the week, you'll get the answer. You're getting it free right now, so don't rush. You'll get it by next week. So those who would like to join the installment program, you'll also get it. If you want to know where to write me, Skype me, that's the fastest way. We're also keeping the Skype records. So like if you join the room and you lose your access for whatever reason, we can go through the Skype records and give you access immediately, right? We don't not demand anything. It's MANGAL 457. You don't have to Skype me only for joining the room. If you have problems, you have trades, if your account is in a very, very bad state and you need some help, feel free to send me a message. We'll try our best to help you, right? That's what we're here for. So at least this week and next week and the week after, whenever, I hope you never get to that stage, but if you're there and you really need some help, a lot of traders call me before and get help. Okay, let's go. Let's start. So this morning, we did the morning session. We went through these trades that you see there. Some of them have changed. The pound trades have changed, because not all of them, just some, because we traded during the news, and that's a different strategy. But you will see where we were and what we did. If you're not there in the London session, you're only in this session. Now we will go through those trades we have. That's what we do every day. This is all recorded for my traders so that they can have follow-up. Those who are not in the room right now, they're at work or they're asleep or whatever. When they wake up, they can follow up on the trades they have. We do this 5 times a day. So I'm going to go through these trades. Then afterwards, we're going to look at other trade setups that we have. And it's up to you to decide what to do with it. We're not making trade calls. We're not giving you trade. This is for educational purpose, but it's also for you to see how we actually trade in our trading room, right? So I can start with the trades we actually took that are going. That is the pound. We took this trade. This trade is going. This trade is definitely going to break the low. So if you're in this trade and you want to keep it, it's okay. You can put your stop to positive and wait. And the 1 hour, it's still valid, right? This is the first one pulling back. So put it to break even and keep it, or, wait some more. I think we will break this low. And now we don't have a sell setup. It's gone. The sell was here, but during the news, we move it up higher. There's a reason for that. The pattern we were trading was this running flat. This morning, we identified that that's a running flat. You trade it from here, it's going to break the low. And this is the trade we're trying to get. It could go further. If it makes flag, we'll continue to sell. So that trade is gone because of the news this morning. So if you're in my group and you were there, you got the trade. We also trade the pound Swiss, which was also this running flat. I think you could have seen this. This actually dropped there. It pulled back before the news. We put an entry there. This one is not going so good right now. So with my traders, what I would say to you is either put it at break even or close and re-enter under the low, right? Because it's not moving so fast. Eventually it will move, because it's kind of making a flag, but you know what we do with flags. When it comes to the bottom here, it doesn't break, close it, put an entry under the low, and don't worry about it. If it goes back up, well, this is a few pips. If you want to take break even, that is also okay. Pound CAD went amazing. And we actually took the trade a little higher. We took it here, right? But I'll put it here because that was the entry before the news, right? That is the entry before the news. I think you can see that very clearly. And just in case there are traders out there who will tell you, well, why you're listening to this wave analysis thing, it doesn't work, right? There'll be somebody tell you that is all nonsense. Market doesn't move in wave analysis and you can't understand. That's all, Well, if you're following me for this week, just guess how many times I guess the direction is correct, right? You can't guess these things. And sometimes we even guess the reversal point. I'll show you one where we guess where it's going to stop, it's going to reverse, and it's going to go back up. You can't guess 3 direction. I mean, you've got to be really, really good at guessing if you can guess 3 direction and get all 3 direction correct. That is, you know, it's just almost impossible. I can hardly guess anything in my life, right? We'll show you some of those patterns where we showed you where, while you were here, starting from Monday, we showed you all the possibilities, how we think this thing is going to move. And it actually did exactly all of that. You can't guess it. It's not that easy. You can't guess that this is going to come here. When it was here, we told you it's going to come here, go back there, and then drop. Can't guess that, right? Remember yesterday when you had one, I said, be careful. You can put the entry, but we're going to make a flag here. It's going to go back up, and then it's going to drop. It's pretty hard to do that, right? So because these are known patterns, these are, you know, they do work, basically. So anybody tell you that nonsense that this doesn't work, show them this and send them to me. Let's go. Silver. Silver dropped. We were waiting to see what this is going to do. It made a very, very sharp move up. So now it's very simple. When it makes a sharp move up, you wait for this to happen, 1, 2, 3, and now you can go with a buy. Now, remember the 2 patterns we look for here, 2 possibilities in the patterns. One of them is an expanding flat, which is this. That's one. That means this will go probably break the top and still come down. I draw that this morning. Watch this morning webinar if you were not here. Or the other possibility is that we make a bigger flat here, right? This just works its way down like this, go back up there and then drop. That is the 2 possible patterns that I see that could develop here. Now, here's the thing. We have a flag forming there. So if that flag formed, we're going to buy it. If it's going to drop lower, it's never going to tag you, which means if this correction is going to correct here and drop, correct and drop, correct and drop, correct and drop, it will never tag you on this one. It's just going to keep coming lower. And then we will decide if we want that trade, because when this trade goes up, it's going to drop. You're going to have a flat and then drop. So by Friday, we would get this sell if that happens, right? If that doesn't happen, it means we're going up now, this session, to break that up. Now, we don't have US news that are strong enough to move the market today, but it could still go, right? It doesn't necessarily it doesn't always move when there's news. It moves all the time. So basically, we might go back with this being an expanding flat. We were looking for a running flat. Instead, you got an expanding flat. One more impulse up, and then we'll see. So we'll go with that. Let's go. Gold. We will change this sell to a buy, and that is an aggressive buy. Gold, the same thing. It came to the low, and I think this was a question somebody asked me. Does it really need to break this low or this low? And I clearly said we don't need to break any of those lows, but this is really sharp. So I do not think this is going to go back up. I think this one is going to stay here, come here, go there, make a flat, drop, break this low. Now, if we do go back up, if this makes a flag and go back up here, that means we're going to be here in a long sideways move. This is really sharp. We're going to go back up there. We're going to drop, make a deep correction here, go back up, come back here, go back there, and then drop. I'm not expecting that to happen at the bottom of the structure. That is really rare to see something like that forming at the bottom of the daily structure. So the higher probability is this is going to drop. Let's wait and see. We'll take this out. We don't have a trade. You're not selling it here. You're waiting for a better setup to sell. Right? Let's go. Euro. We took the buy this morning. That was an aggressive buy. We took it from here. You should go back and watch the webinar. When it comes to the top, you took off the trade. If you didn't, you put it to break even. Now, you can put the trade to break even if you expect it to break out. And that is the reason we took the trade, where we expect it to break out. So normally I'll consider this a break-even trade because I'm not expecting all my traders to close it. But some of them might have noticed that, it's starting to pull back. Okay, let's take it out, wait for another flag. And if they took out, they'll get a few pips. It's not a really big trade. It's not going to make your account grow, fantastic. Now we're thinking, can we sell it? And I think, yes, you can sell it. You can sell it under this low, which is a few pips under this low. If you're tagged, then don't worry. I mean, keep a stop above the impulse, which is above here, above the impulse. You're not going to be taken out on that stop. You'll get out of the trade way before that, but just in case, keep a stop there. Why? Well, what if they go back up like this and then come down? Right? We will probably figure out that this is a flat inside here. You have 1, 2, 3, and then drop. I'm not expecting a complex pattern, but that possibility exists. So you put the entry here, we put a stop here, and we wait to see. Remember, this could be the final drop in it. This here could be, I'll take this out. That was yesterday's sell. Also profitable, right? This could be the very final drop here. It could either drop really sharp and reverse. It could drop, break this low and go back up. You'll have to take break even in that case. But this could be the low on the yearly, the weekly, the monthly charts before we go back up. So be careful with it if you're taking this trade, right? If anybody is trading this is how we trade it. These are our trade calls for you to take trades. So we can change that into an aggressive sell. Aussie, you should already be in this aggressive sell. And for my trader, you should have taken it higher, right? You can put it here now as a sell setup, now that you guys are in here, but for my traders, you should have taken it from that. You should be in that trade from there. I don't think from this one, maybe. We did break the top. So maybe from that one, but if you're in the trade from here, that's good. If not, put the trade there. We'll take it from here. We want it to break this low. Once it breaks this low, you're gonna put it to break even, right? Once it breaks through this low here, you can take it here. Once it breaks through this low, put it to break even. If it gets that far. We're expecting it to break the low. I explained that in details this morning. Watch this morning's webinar. We're expecting it to break this low. New Zealand, pretty much the same thing, right? You can take this out. That is the low we're looking at there. This is making a nice flag here. So if they drop, I think you can take the trade. Now, New Zealand already broke the low, so there is no expectation of where this is going to go. It is just going down. You'd have to just manage the trade, basically, if you take it. Yen, still going up, right? This morning, I told you this is going to be a very small flag here. If you want to take the trade, it's really up to you. I'm not buying the yen right now. Not that because I don't think it's going to go, because the risk is too much. Trade something that is moving. Trade pound, for example, right? Trade something that has a possibility to go more. It's the same trade. If it's a US dollar moving, you can trade silver, gold, pound, anything. You don't have to trade the yen. The yen is a high risk trade, which means it's anytime it can drop. So we'll wait to see whether we get the drop. It's going up very nice. So if you're in the trade, wonderful. Swiss, we're looking for a buy. So this morning, remember I told you, if you were in the room this morning, I said, one, we saw 1, 2, 3, we were here. If it makes a flag, you can sell this, but only to this level, and then it's going to go back up. You can't guess all of that, right? Came here, stopped, go back up. Works like magic. So we should put it a little lower. I missed it by a few pips, no problem. Right? It's an expanding flat. It's a buy setup. Normally you buy expanding flat by putting the entry order above the top. If you get a flag before that, you take the flag. We don't really have a flag on the 15 before that, so you buy it above the top. Let's see where it goes from there, right? I hope it's a very big trade because very soon you're going to make a bigger correction as well. CAD. Okay, CAD came down as expected. We were here this morning and we said expected. It did go up first a little, but then it came back down. So you have this one, which makes this running flat. Makes 1, 2, 3. That's your running flat, which this is going to go back up, break the top. Let's see where we are. We're not buying the CAD. The reason we're not buying the CAD is because we're in this correction here and we're at the top of this move. We don't have a full pattern there. I don't think this is a full correction. I don't see this as a full correction. I don't see this as a full, you know, it's kind of a big correction we're in. So I could see this mostly as a 1, 2, 3. When it breaks the top, I think we can still come back here. And if we get this pattern, then we look for a buy. So you're looking for something like this before you go for a buy. Let's see if we get it. Can it break the top and totally drop? That is also possible, right? Because we might come back and retest this low. So go back to the 15. There is a trade there. We're not buying it. Let it go up. We're buying the Swiss, but we're not buying the CAD. If you guys get it a bit lower from a lower point, that's okay, which means you'd have to look for an entry somewhere here. That would be a very small one, but if you take that, that's okay. Once it breaks the top, you got to be careful. When it breaks the top, we'll be looking for a sell setup. So if you're still in here, when this breaks the top, we might be looking for a sell setup. We have CAD news this afternoon at 6 p.m. my time. This would be a wonderful sell setup at 6. So if it goes to the top there and it stays there, we will have a wonderful sell setup. It could give you a single drop to this level and then go back up. So let's see. Euro yen, if you get any flag, trade it. New Zealand yen. We bought the New Zealand yen. We didn't, the only yen pair we bought, we traded was the New Zealand yen buy. Again, you got the trade. Once it breaks this stop, you put it to break even. And right now you're looking to exit. So if you closed it here, that's good. If you didn't, wait for this to pull back a little, close it. This is all you get, right? Because they're all at a very, very high stage. Watch your webinar this morning. We explain all of that at a very high stage. You can't lose on this trade. This is the pound you got already. You got the euro, you got the pound, you got the New Zealand. All these are winning trades. So you can't lose in them. We didn't take any of the other trades from there. We went to the Euro CAD. Euro CAD for the sell, you're in the Euro CAD sell, right? This is the Euro CAD sell we took this morning on this low. It's kind of consolidating here. So what we normally do when they consolidate there, you go to the 1 hour and you see how many hours is there. It's pulling back only 1 hour. See, that's the first hour pulling back. There is no need to panic. You'll have enough time to exit the trade if it doesn't go. I still think it's going to drop, right? We still think this is going to drop. It doesn't matter that it broke out. I explained that this morning. That is irrelevant. You're going to look at this now, and this could still come here. I see they pull back there and they still drop. This one pull back here and it still drops. So don't worry about one pullback. It's still going to drop. Well, we'll see how far this goes. So we'll put it like this, and we'll see how far it goes. If you had your stop higher, you can put your stop about here. So it will be a small loss. If you had a higher stop, take it off, put it there. Right? And if this doesn't go in the next one, we'll close the trade, we'll put an entry here and see if it drops to the bottom. I don't think they're going to go very far. We are expecting this to drop very far, but I don't think this is the one that is going to go. We're coming to break this low. But it looks like this might not be the one that goes. It's going to consolidate some more and then go, but take the trade. Worst case is you're going to get break even on a trade like this. If you don't like this one now, you can close the trade now, put an entry under the low. That's another option you have. So let's say you're in the trade right here, and it's keeping you 1, 2, and you don't like it, just close the trade, put an entry under the low. That is another option, right? So let's go. Pound, that was from this morning. Let me move this up. Sorry. I move this up to where it was. Yep, just under the euro. That's good. And let's look at all the pound trades. We already looked at them, right? We looked, but for those who just joined, I'll go through them again. We're looking at the pound Swiss. We sold that. We sold the pound dollar. This one here now, same thing, right? If you don't like the trade at this stage, let's say you see this consolidation, you can wait for it to drop here, close the trade, put an entry under the low. Now that is easier said than done, because I know for a fact we've been doing this about 2 years in our group, and a lot of traders cannot close that. But when they're trading with us and we said close now, they close, and then they put the entry. But when you're all by yourself, it is very difficult to close the trade. It's not that easy. Pound CAD. This is a good one. Same thing. If you want to take profit here, you take profit. This is a good trade. You take the profit and wait. Let's see if we get another flag. Where will this go? This one doesn't specifically has to go anywhere. It's just going down. It's just trending downwards. There's no target to the downside. And there's a very good chance it can pull back. There's a very good chance that this could go back right back to the top here, make a running flat, and then drop. Right? Or there's a good chance it just makes a flag here and drop more. We'll see which one comes. We're going to be trading the CAD. So I'll take these off because the trades are gone already. This one I'll keep. That trade is still active. Pound New Zealand, it looks like we're going to have a perfect buy setup this afternoon during the CAD news. It is a buy setup as it stands right now. We have an expanding flat here. We're expecting this to break that up and then come back. This would complete this flat. See? Go complete that flat. So there will be a nice buy setup before it drops. We have the same thing on Pound. That's Pound New Zealand, right? Not Pound CAD. Sorry, I don't know what that was Pound. Pound Oz. This is a buy setup as well. It's going back up. This might be more of a regular flat. You have 1, you have 2, you have 3. So if we get a flag here, we'll start to buy it to the upside. Anywhere we get a flag now, we'll take the trade to the upside. The entry is above the top for now. Let's go. Aussie CAD. This was a sell. Well, you're probably just tagged in it, so it's not really going very fast. Keep your eyes on this one. You give it some time. You see they pull back here and they still drop. They pull back there and they still drop. The first pullback is not your problem. After that, you start managing the trade. Aussie Swiss. If you took this one and you got tagged here, close it. Don't keep it, close the trade. So if you took this morning under here, it went back, it came down back here, it's here. You can close it now if you want, or give it a few pips more, close it for break even, small loss. We'll relook at this as the possible bigger one, and you can still put the entry order under the low. So for those of you who join now, the entry order under the low is a good idea. So why close it, put the entry order there? There's a lot of reasons for that. We're not going to go through all of that right here, right now, right? So it all depends on how you look at patterns. This could be a bigger one. I think it could be the bigger one. We could look at it like this. You look at it 1, 2, 3, with this being internal here. And 1, 2, 3, with that being a bigger one. And now this is dropping. Yeah, makes sense. I can go with that. And you have a 1, 2, 3 here. And you have that. And you can also make this a bigger one here if you want. I think this could be a bigger option here if you want, to this level or to that level. But I'll stay with this one. I like this. I'll stay with this one. So let's go. This would be a smaller version of this one here. See? So this cell is still valid under the low. Why the bigger structure is going to break out? There's a high probability this thing is going to break out. And if we break out of this, we're coming to break this low. That's a trade. New Zealand CAD. This is not a sell here. We were waiting for a flag here to sell. That's just a low. Take it off. We need a flag here to sell. We don't have a flag as yet. No flag. Let's make a flag and then we'll sell. Take that off. New Zealand Swiss, we don't have it. We're getting a flag now, so this would become a sell setup. This is just a low from somewhere in the past. You can put a sell setup under this low here. That'd be a sell setup. Natural gas. So we were waiting for this to make a flag. Let's see if we got it. Yeah, you kind of got it. You made, see this make one up. Then it made 1, 2, 3 down. They actually went up. It went up back. So this completes this pattern. And then it dropped. But then it dropped and pulled back. So we were not there. We didn't see the trade. We didn't get to take it. The flat is actually, I think, like this. And now we're kind of going back up. So it's not a buyer or sellers yet. Just leave it. We'll come back to that. US oil. So this one pulled back. This is still valid because now we will consider whether we're getting this as a running flat. I think that makes sense. So this sell is still valid if it drops through the bottom. Keep it under the low for the sell. If that drop, we'll take the trade. And UK oil should be the same. Keep it under the low. S&P 500. Well, it went up a little higher, which might be a good thing. I hope so. And it does look like they can go back up some more. It looks like this could go back up because you have a 1, 2, 3 there. This looks like it can go back up some more. If it goes up more, we'll put the entry order here for the sell. We'll try to get the sell from the top here going down. If that goes up more, then we will have 1, 2, 3, go back up there, make a bigger flat, drop again, pull back here, go this, go up and then drop. That's a long one, right? And you want to know, well, how do you imagine that one? Well, it's because of the previous pieces we have in the pattern. You look at this and you're thinking, this is a correction within this move, and within this move here, these two moves. So when it drops here and it pull back, and if this is making a flat of its own here for whatever reason, makes a flat, go back up, finish this flat, drop here. We have this one and we have this one. So we still have to go back up for this one and then drop. That would be this, then drop. I can show you a pattern like this right now in the same chart. We did that this morning already, right? Where we see this, we go back in the same chart and look for similar patterns. Good, let's go. You got to move down, then you got to move up. See this, you got to move up, then you got to move down. You got a flag in the middle, right? See this flag in the middle there? Move up, flag in the middle. You make a high, you make a low. This makes another extra flat. We don't have an extra flat here. Come back down and then go. So we would look for a second flat, which is 2 corrections in it. That would be a little difficult to find, but I think we can find 1 with 2 corrections in it. I have to go back and search the entire chart. That will take a long while, but there are many with more than 2 corrections in them. Right? Some has 3, 4 corrections in them. So we'll just assume we'll find it somewhere later for you. So right now, this is the sell setup. This is going to drop like this at some point, go back up like there, and this would become the sell. That would become the sell. So let's go back to the 15. You can still take a trade. We took one yesterday, you got profit. Right? If you sold this yesterday, remember the first drop is where you're looking at it. Drop here, start to pull back, close the trade. If you didn't close it, it pull back here, it drop again, it starts to consolidate here, close the trade. So you got some profit. This is a trade setup. You can put it here if you want. Right? I don't like this flat here. That is telling me upside is possible. So, but keep it a little lower and see if that goes. We're supposed to stay under that low, but because it's so close, I think you stay away a little. If you want to put it under this low, it's okay, but that's a far away. Let's go. NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing. Keep it where it is. You can go higher. You can actually go higher, put it here. US 30. I think these will all go back up. They have these flats here. I think they're going to go back up, but it's not a buy deal. Probably just go this and come back. So I wouldn't be buying it. I'll just leave it. DAX, keep it there. Let's see if it drops through the bottom. We'll keep it and see. So that is about it. All the cryptos are making low. When they make low, then we'll come back to them, right? Let's go. So you saw the trades we are in already. Going, we're making money in those. Most of them are break even. You can't lose anything in them anymore. And some of the setups we have. So now the rest of them that we didn't look at. Normally, I'll ask my traders to tell me which one you want, but I think it will be much faster for me to run through all of them and see if there's a trade setup. So let's see. Do we have anything in gold? Nope. We had some really good sells in gold here that closed all this morning. Now gold is at the bottom, so let's wait, see if we get a flag there. Yeah, we finished those already. US yen, we finished this. I think we don't have anything there. CAD, we don't have anything. We're waiting. Euro yen, nothing. Wait for a flag buy. CAD yen, good. If this starts to drop, we won the trade. Remember, just a single drop doesn't mean anything. You have to get a flag. Wait for a flag, we'll sell. If we get a flag, if it's going to go back up, you can buy for a running flat. Right? You can, because this is sharp, you can buy this, come back here sharp, it can go back up. You need the flag to confirm that it's not a running flat for upside. We're looking for a sell setup here too. We don't have the sell setup. This is finished, right? That you can take this profit out. Anytime it consolidates here, take the profit to look for a sell. Aussie yen. Okay, we broke the top. So this morning we weren't there as yet. We finally broke the top. So now when you break the top, you're looking for downside. See, if you were here from Monday, I told you we might not even get this trade, but let it go break the top. So we have 1, 2, 3. We need this one now. We need this to come back here, make a flat, and up. So we're looking for this trade here now. Pretty simple. Wait for it to come down, wait for it to make a flag, and then get in the trade. Swiss yen, nothing. Euros, you need a flag on Swiss yen if you're going to buy. Euros kind of go up. We need it to pull back. It's not pulling back enough. I need a bigger pullback like this. So we're getting a small correction here. This is like a small correction, and this is going up. The problem with this is we don't have this. So this could go back up a little more, pull back like this, and then go. The pullback is the best one. You want it to pull back here and look for a buy setup here going. So it's not a very good place to buy it where it is right now. You're in New Zealand. Okay, we're at the top. It didn't come down as far as I would like this to come down. I would like it to come back here, just stop short of this. But can we use this as the running flat? I think we can. We can make an argument for that, put it in a 15. So you can make an argument that that is a running flat, this here. 1, 2, 3, and it's going up. Do we have a buy setup? Let's see in the bigger picture. Do we have a buy setup? Nope, we're trying to go down. All right. See, we're in this move here. Up, down, up. They actually stop short. Go, let them come back here and make a flat. And then we can go back. So we'll see if we get sell set up to the bottom there. Let's go back on the 1 hour. Don't do anything. Let it break the top first. Let it break the top, and then we're looking for a drop like this. Let it come back here, give us a flat, and then we look for a buy setup. We might sell that if we get it tomorrow morning. We don't have a buy setup at the top. I don't like the idea. Euro Swiss. Perfect. You got a sell set up. So this one, remember this morning, yesterday, if you took that one, we closed it here. And now it's correcting. So I think this is making a move to the upside. We're making a possible upside move here. This. So you have two moves here. We'll put it like this. You have this one. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, and we're in the 2 here now. And this is telling me this should go back up and break that up. So you have 1, 2, 3. It should come back here, right? So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then probably another 1, 2, 3 up here, and then drop. We're not going to drop now. Do I want to buy here to the upside? Not as yet. I'm looking at all of that as a possible sell. So I want this to go back up here. Come back here, consolidate. Come here, go back up there. So you have 1. This piece here is going to be 1, 2, 3. Maybe this comes back sharp, then go back up, something like that, and then drop. So we're going to be in a range here, consolidating, and then we look for the sell setup. This is sharp, so if this is within it, we're going to come back sharp and then go back up. Let's wait. Let's wait and see. We don't have any trade set up there. EuroCAD we already looked at. EuroCAD tagged you. It's kind of like I said, if you want to close it, if not, this is going to come back down and then we'll close it. Right? There's no rush in that. 15. Europound? No trade. This was a buy in the news, but we didn't take it. Because there's no knowing where it's going. We're in a big flat and it's not a complete flat. So I think we'll drop again. Pound Swiss? You're in this one already, so you can put that to break even and leave it, or you close the trade here and put the entry under low. I think put it to break even, keep it. Let's see. Pound CAD, we did all the pound trades basically, right? Pound CAD, pound New Zealand, pound Oz, Aussie, New Zealand. Wait for a sell setup here. You're getting a sell setup actually. You can put an entry over here and wait to see where it drops. We did all of this. Let's see. CAD Swiss. We're getting a flat there. We have an expanding flat in here. We have this and we have this, right? So if you get a flag here, go for a sell back to this level. They're not going very deep, but go for a sell back to this level and then see if it goes back up. We don't have a flag there as yet. Wait for a flag, take the trade. Let's go. And that is about it. We did Nifty, we did Bitcoin already. Bitcoin is dropping. All the cryptos are dropping, you don't need to worry. So that drop, this is gonna make a flag drop again. If you're selling, it's okay. If you're not selling, wait for them to break the low and then look for your buy setups. Basically, that's it. We just covered all the trades. Now what you guys can tell me is which one you want me to relook at. Some trades you're in, some trade setup you're not sure, we can go with that. So let's go. Pound USD broke the low and we have divergence. Is it going up to do running flat? Pound USD. What time frame? You mean whether this would go back and make a running? Possible. It's not necessary, but it's possible because this by itself was corrective. That was enough corrective if they want to drop on the reverse, but we'll go with either the drop on the reverse, break the low first, it has to break this low first, or go back, make a running flat and then drop. But most likely you're going to break the low now. On the daily, it's a big running flat. We're trying, this is the daily low we want to break before we go back up. 4 hour, I don't see the running flat. 4 hour. We already had a running flat in the 4 hour. We're just dropping. This is the impulse going down. So there's a small one possible here, but the 4 hours already gone. Right. Let's see. Okay. Pound yen, we don't have any trade. It's at the top, wait for it to drop, we'll go for the sell. So we'll be looking for the sell on the pound yen when it turns. See? We're in this one and we're at the top here. This correction has to come back down before it goes. So once we start to see sell set up there, we'll take the trade. We don't have this yet. You have a chart, euros. Let's see that chart you have. This is the 15 minutes in the euros. I think there's a piece somewhere missing. If you want to go with this is the running flat, yes, you can go with this. This here. Go with this as a 1, 2, 3 here. One down, one down, one up, drop. Come in this way, go that way. Hope that helped. Anything else? Let's go. What are trade setups? We actually run through all of them, so now we just have to wait for them to go. Any other questions you guys have? We can take some questions. We have a lot of time. We're pretty quick today because we've been doing this so much. Normally, we'll see any other trades you want me to look at, anything you were in, anything you're struggling with. What is stop on the USD Swiss? Let's go USD Swiss. Okay, what is, if we take this trade here, what would, this stop would be under here. It's not supposed to come back here. So if you get a flag here, it would be much better. But if it goes and it breaks the top, start to pull back, we'll close the trade. I think it can go a lot more. But if it doesn't go, we'll close the trade. We wouldn't keep it. Anything else? Let's go. Any other questions, guys? So far, I think it has been good. We're getting trades. You're seeing the trade setups. Today, we just have to, I don't think we'll have much more because we got it this morning. We got a few trades this morning. Those are going. This afternoon, the only thing I think we can move would be the cat pairs, but that would be at 6 p.m. Now it's just 4:30. So at 5:30, we'll come into my trading room and do that. We wouldn't be in here. We can't keep this open for 2 hours. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to look at? Any questions you have? If you can see the live trades, we're doing them right here. You mean it all the time? You're in an installment program. We're working on that. We're working on giving you guys live access like we have right now. So eventually you might get live access. So, yep, I know you'd like it. Thank you. It is amazing. So we'll try to get all the people who joined the installment program into the live sessions because we do them anyway. And those who don't make the live sessions will still get a recording. So you guys will still, the recording will still come to you. But we'll try to give you access to the live session too. Anything else? Okay. If that will help you accelerate your payment, then we'll do it. A lot of traders who took it, they start by paying small and then they increase their payment. As you make money, you increase it. Aussie cat again, let's go. Okay, it's pulling back, no need to, it's just one candle pulling back, right? So let's assume this is the low and you're gonna pull back. The stop should not be here, the stop should be here, above the last impulse, maybe even above here, right? But if you're keeping a stop here, let's assume for a second, this is too small to keep a stop here, this is a 15-minute one. Keep the stop at least here. Most likely it should be there. That is where your stop should be, right? Whatever you're risking is that. Put it on the hourly so you can see what I'm saying. This is what we're saying, right? You keep the stop above the impulse. So if you took this one, you keep the stop here. It goes, it pull back. If you close it wherever you close it there and you take this breakout here, you keep the stop here. It goes, it pull back, it goes, it pull back. If you close it somewhere here, you take this breakout here. So there's a breakout here. If you take that breakout, you put a stop here. That goes, pull back, you close it, right? We close this here, we close this here, we close that here. This dropped, so you didn't have a trade. You didn't make a flag, it go back up, you don't have a trade. Coming on back, you don't have a trade. Now you see that flat, it comes here, you have a trade here. Right, so if you take that, you put a stop here. If you close it in here, you take this one, you close it right to the top here. So you're getting some of them really nice, some of them very short. This is not how the chart moves. This is the worst way a chart could move. And I show you 5 trades that would be break-even trades, right? In the worst part, when it drops like this trade was good, now we'll see this. If this is not gonna go, but it's gonna consolidate like those, we'll still get out. Just give it time. You see, they don't consolidate when you broke out of this, for example. See when it broke out of this here? Let's take this. It went up, came back, consolidated. This one even, if they pull back like this, see it still go back up. Let me show you this pullback. So if you're taking this breakout here, it broke out, it pulled back, it went, it pulled back, it still goes. So don't chase it, you'll get enough chance. In any case, keep your stop here. Don't put a stop here because they can still tag you there and come back. That will be your exit strategy. We wait for an exit. Right, so the idea is that if this goes and it goes up back, let's assume this is the low and they're going back. They'll go there, they'll make a flag, we'll close the trade. If it stays here for a while, close the trade right there. You see, we have done it a number of times already in here. What's the big picture? Do we have more to the downside? Let's see. Yeah, we do. We're expecting them to come break this low. So there's more to the downside. I think it can go down some more. Wait for the next hour. This hour is going to close in 20 minutes, then wait for the next hour. For the Euro USD, if you're tagged, would you close the trade right now? Euro USD, let's see. If I was tagged here, no, I wouldn't close the trade right now. Again, you keep your stop above the stop. You don't have to close. You will, 90% of the time, when you put an entry on, it will tag you and pull back. Here's the thing. You would say, well, let it pull back, then I sell. No, that's not the truth. You wouldn't be able to do that. So you put the entry on because sometimes they would just drop. Right? There's about 40% of the time when it will just drop without tagging you and pull back, tagging you and pull back, and then go. So it all depends, like this. You wouldn't get a tag and pull back, right? A tag and it just dropped. You wouldn't get the trade. We got the trade yesterday, the same thing here. By the time this candle is closed, you don't know if that candle is at the bottom here, right? This candle might reverse and close somewhere here. You still have 20 minutes for that to happen. So wait, don't rush it. How much depth of pullback we should wait for before exiting? No, it's not about the depth of pullback. It's about what it does when it's pulling back. Is it consolidating before you do exit the trade? Is it still dropping? It can pull back and drop again. That's why you keep the stop where if it pulls back within the correction, you're not going to be taken out. The difficult part, not to panic. That's the problem with a lot of traders. Getting into a trade and not panicking, understanding what the trade is doing. So that's why we're here. Look, this thing is a whole hour. You don't need to chase it. That's a whole hour right here. Look, this next candle might pass through the bottom like that. Look, this pullback, it dropped. That pullback, it dropped. This pullback, it dropped. This pullback, it dropped. This pullback. You get a message, right? You don't need to go through all of them. So if it keeps doing that, well, then you can put it to break even when it breaks out of your low. At some point, it might start to drop really fast. Sometimes they do that. Take this, for example. It pulled back and dropped. Look what it did here. But then it just dropped. That's the point, right? You don't close too early because then you miss the trade itself. Okay. Any other thing? Any other trade setup? Anything else you guys are looking at? Let's go. Market is a bit slow right now. We had some movements this morning. I can still take some questions from you. No more questions? Okay. Let's see if we have any more trades set up. We still have time. We still have 15 minutes more. So if we don't have questions, we can look for if we get any more trades in the next 15 minutes. Nope, nothing that I see. So it's a slow market today. The only thing we'll probably move is a CAD in the next hour. 6 o'clock my time. Now it's 4:44. Okay, no more question. I'll stop the recording so we don't just record nothing.